Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we're going to finish adding our last RESTful route for comics, the delete route. Now we have a few steps to get there. First we're going to add a delete button to our comic show page so that we can actually send the delete request relatively easily. While we're at it, we're going to add an edit button too. And then we're going to click create the delete route and build that out. So first let's go ahead and go into the comics.show. And down near the bottom, underneath this table, let's go ahead and just look at it real quick. Basically, I want the buttons to be right here above the comment header, but below this picture. So above the comment header, but below the picture, so it's going to be right underneath this table. Under the table? Yeah, I'm going to do it under the table, so that it's still on the left side. Because the way this works is this is one column, and this is the other column, and I want them under here. That's just a personal choice. You can stick them over here, you can put them up here. I don't care where you put them. Just make sure you have the buttons. So under the table, we're going to put two links. We're going to have a edit button, and we're going to have a delete button. So the edit button can just be an A tag. href equals, and now is where we put in the link. And then inside of there, I want a button with a class of btn. And btn, let's do an outline button. Outline info. And we want it to be large. We want it to be a block. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of margin on the bottom. We want this to just say edit. So let's look at it and see what it looks like. I put on the wrong one. I just kind of like that better instead of down here. So I'm just going to leave it. Even though I put it on the wrong table, I'm just going to leave it. That's fine. It'll be fine. So for the href, this needs to, right now it doesn't take us anywhere because the href doesn't do anything. It just takes us back to the exact same page. So it needs to take us to /comics/id/edit. So we need this href to go /comics/id/edit, but ID we're getting from the comic. So %equals comic dot, I think it's underscore ID. There we go. Save. Come here, refresh. Let's test it. Boom. Nope, it's going to add new comic. No, it's the right. I just have that wrong on that route. So let's fix that real quick while we're thinking about it. Comics edit. Instead of add new comic, we want to say edit comic. So let's go back, hit that button again. There we go. Edit comic. Perfect. That's what we want. That's working. Close that. Let's get rid of this extra space because Gorm likes to add extra space for no reason. Now the delete cannot unfortunately be an A tag because you have to send a post request, which we're going to modify with method override to a delete request. So it can't be an A tag because A tags are always going to send GET requests. So it has to actually be a form. Form action equals, we'll talk about that in a second, method equals post. Even though it's going to be delete, remember that we have to use method override to do that. So inside we're just going to have a button. Type is submit. Oops, type equals submit. Class is going to be equal, pretty much the same class as btn outline, except this one we want it to be danger because you're deleting things. Btn large, btn block. And I don't think we need the margin bottom on this one, but I'll have to look at it to double check because it's in a different location than I had planned for it to be. But that's fine. I like it better there anyway. So let's see what it looks like. Perfect. I like that. Yeah, I like that spacing's good. Okay, cool. And then for the action, remember we need to send a delete request to /comics/id. So /comics/id nope, that's it, /comics/id. But then we need to add that method override. So question underscore method equals delete. Then we close our quotes. And obviously ID is not what we want here. We want comic._ID. So save. And let's refresh. And then let's try it. If this works, it's just going to delete this. Nope, cannot delete. You know why? Because we never made the route. We've updated the form, but we never made the route. I got ahead of myself there. So we'll leave that open for now. Inside of comics.js, we have our find by ID and update, but we need to add our next one. So we have, actually I'm going to label these real quick to make it a bit easier. So we have index, we have create, we have new, we have show, we have edit, update, and finally we have delete, the big 7. Now Mongoose gives us 2 methods we can use to delete things by their ID. There's find by ID and delete, or find by ID and remove. There are some very, very small differences between these two, but functionally speaking, they're pretty much the same, and you'll see find by ID and delete almost always, unless you have a good reason to use remove, and we're not going to get into why you would use either one. But we're going to use delete. Just use delete because it's a lot more prevalent, so you'll see it a lot more often. So let's go ahead and add that. Router.delete is going to be /ID, request and response. Now what we have to do here is we have to get comic, and then we're going to find by ID and delete. Passing in request.params.id. Then we want to execute that, and then when you run find by ID and delete, it will return the deleted comic, whatever, or the deleted item, whatever you are deleting, into your .then call. So let's console.log deleted. And then res.redirect back to /comics. We can't go back to comic/ID because obviously it doesn't exist anymore. That's the plan at least. .catch. Res.send error deleting, and pass the error there. So let's save that, and let's give it a go, see if it works. Let's refresh this page, hit delete, hope and pray. Boom, cannot delete. So something's wrong. Did I not save this? Router.delete /ID, I did that right. Alright. Let's go back. Let's again delete. Cannot delete. Let's try this one. Delete. Cannot delete. Oh, it's because I did a singular comic instead of comics. Derpity derpity derp. Inside of here, this needs to be comics. Little typos, man, I'm telling you. So let's go into X-Men and delete. Boom, and it's gone. It is no longer there, even when we refresh the page. It's not there anymore. Let's go into ZFF, delete, and it is gone. No longer there. Nothing, nada. Score. And there's one more thing I wanted to do, just kind of a cleanup, is inside of the create. Where's create? New. Show. Where's create? There it is. Inside of the create, instead of res.redirecting back to comics, I want to res.redirect back to this new comic. That's kind of like a quality of life type thing. /comics / plus, what is it, new comic _ ID. I think that should do it. If I could type. So let's go to add a comic. Submit. Uh-oh, we're getting an error. I knew this was coming because this happened last time I did this, and I'm going to be 100% honest, I have no freaking idea why. I sat here and Googled and tested and even looked into the Mongoose code because it's open source, and I cannot figure out why this is happening because I didn't change anything in the model. I didn't change anything in the correction, and yet what's happening is it's trying to create an ID with something that's undefined. I don't understand it. I've looked and looked and looked and looked, and I cannot figure this out. However, there is a fix, and it doesn't make any sense why this fixes it, but there is a fix to this, and it's simply to change the name of one of our valid keys in our model. It's dumb as anything, and I don't know why it works, but it works. Inside of our models, we have a comic. Right now we're using image as string. If you change this to something else, such as image link, then it starts to work fine, and I have no idea why. We just have to change this in all of them. So right here where it says image, make it say image link, make that say image link. I think it's down here. There's another one down here. Yeah, image link. So those are fine. And then in the view, for both the new and the edit, save that. We have to change it down where it has the image link. Name is image link. I've saved you. Why aren't you closing? Okay. And then name is image link. And then the value is image link. And then inside of the comics.ejs and comics_show, we need to change it instead of image to be image link. Comic show, where is the image link? There it is. So save. This was the update to the database that I've mentioned, to the database items that I mentioned a few times that caused all of the comics to stop actually showing. But if I click on comics now, they all work because those are the, that's how it is in the database. This one's obviously wrong. Delete, go away. Now that we've done that, we can put in whatever we want. Submit. Still gives me the same error. It shouldn't give me the same error. What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm passing new comic instead of comic. Typos kill me. So go back, submit this again, and it works fine. I have no bloody idea why this works fine. This has driven me up the wall for hours, and I don't know why changing the name of a key inside the schema would matter. It shouldn't matter, but it does apparently. So that's how you fix it. This issue that is insane. I don't know why it matters, why it exists. Just make sure you update it in all the places and test them all. So if anybody who understands Express and Mongoose better than me knows why this happens, I would love to hear it. I would absolutely love to figure out what I'm doing wrong, if I'm even doing anything wrong, or if it's just a bug in the programming. I don't know. In this video, we did a few things. We created the delete button and the edit button on our pages right here using those, and we set those up to actually do those things, to go to the edit page and actually delete the thing. And we also created the delete route inside of our code. Where is it? Down here. That actually deletes the comics. And we also created and fixed a bug. We created the bug by updating our show page, our create page, so that it redirects to the show page for the comic that is being created, which for God knows why reason introduced a bug. And then we fixed that bug by going into our comic model and renaming one of the items from image link to image, and it fixed the issue. I have no idea why. As always, if you have any questions other than this stupid thing, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Thanks.